Hello and welcome to Thursday's Travel Talk with Travel Time. We're very happy to be coming to you today with some special guests, both represented Sandals Resorts. And first of all, I'd like to introduce Meredith Hand, who is a BDM for Sandals and a very, very great asset for our clients. Meredith, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks. It's such a pleasure to be here, Lois and the Travel Time TPI team. As we all know, and Lois never mentions, she's one of our Chairman's Royal Club agents, of course, working very closely with her now for almost a decade. Really excited to be seeing you again on these lovely Thursday travel talks that we get to do with you.
Thank you very much. And today we also have the pleasure of joining us from Jamaica, Montego Bay at the Sandals Resort, the general manager, who is Carl Beviere. Carl, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to join us on Thursday's Travel Talk today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are looking forward to hearing all that's new and some great updates and information from you from on the ground there in Jamaica, where we'd all like to be today. Obviously, I have a very high desire. You can see by my background here that I would love to be sitting there on the beach in Jamaica. Especially at the Sandals Montego Bay, which that is a phenomenal resort known as the flagship of Sandals. So you can give us a little update of what life is like there in Jamaica.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. As many know, Sandals Montego Bay is our flagship resort. It's our very first resort. We opened it in 1981. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been going through extensive renovations. So we've kind of renewed the flagship, and I'll kind of walk you through what we've done and how it works as well. As you know, we reopened the resort in June, and we put in some safety protocols, our platinum protocols, to keep the guests and the staff safe so that they can come down and have a relaxing, enjoyable visit to the flagship. Now, over the last 4 or 5 years, we've renovated almost every block of rooms. We've added swim-up suites. We've increased our restaurant count to 12 now, and I'm just going to walk you through the different restaurants that we have. We have the English pub, which is very traditional, fish and chips, all the English favorites. It's very casual, very quick as well. Then we have Tokyo Joe's, which my son says is the best restaurant in the entire Sandals chain, because you go in there and it's an Asian style wok cuisine. You go in and pick your ingredients, and the chefs cook it in front of you and then serve it to you as well. And I think he says it's the favorite because he gets to eat as much as he likes when he goes in there as well. And then we have the Oleanda Restaurant, which is one of our newly refurbished restaurants. It's our fine dining Jamaican cuisine. It's where you get dressed up. We've added a deck outside so you can literally sit out next to the water and dine under the stars as well. Then we have Cucina Romana's, which is our Italian restaurant. We have an Italian chef in there that prepares all of the food freshly every day for us. And then we have our Bayside restaurant. Now, Bayside's fantastic because it was one of the opportunities we had when we closed, was to redo our Bayside restaurant. And it was always the biggest challenge when we were operating. How do you do the main restaurant? So we do breakfast and lunch in there. Breakfast is a buffet. Lunch is a la carte menu that changes on a daily basis. And then in the evening, it's a French brasserie as well. And we have inside and outside dining. If you ever see pictures of Sandals Montego Bay and you see the deck, that's where the Bayside dinner, breakfast and lunch also, if you choose to dine out there as well. Then we have some casual dining opportunities. We have our pizzeria, our beach grill. They make amazing pizzas to order. My favorite is they do a pizza with mashed potato, which sounds really strange.
What?
I know. It's mashed
Is
potato
this new?
with chicken. And everybody I've told have said, mashed potato on a pizza, you must be crazy. Everybody who's tried it has said it's the best pizza they've ever had.
This must be new since I've been there because I didn't get the memo.
You know what's really strange is a guest told me about it over dinner one night. I said, "Your mashed potato pizza," and I said, "We don't have pizza with mashed potato." And they said, "Oh, you do. You need to try it." And they were right.
Oh
so that's definitely a must-do there. And then we have Barefoot on the Beach, where literally you can dine. It's our sort of rustic Jamaican dining place right on the beach. You can be barefoot. You can be right in the water as well. It's a beautiful location on an extensive beach And it's a beach that we, over the last few years, we've redone. So we added new breakwaters. We extended the beach all the way down the entire length of the property. We added an overwater bar, an overwater chapel, which has become the most popular place to get married now. And it really is a stunning, stunning beach. It's the largest private beach in Montego Bay. So it's definitely worth a visit. And right now the sun is shining. The sky is crystal clear. The sea is just beautiful right now. So I'm sure you're having the same experience wherever you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite. We're not quite having that experience here,
It's
but
the dreariest of dreariest days here in
Really?
Halifax.
luckily both Meredith and I have enjoyed Sandals Montego Bay and the beach that you speak of, and we can attest that it is a great walking beach. It's a beautiful, beautiful setting.
Yeah. And then we added some new restaurants. So we added a jerk shack, which is our I would say our national Jamaican cuisine. It's jerk chicken, jerk pork, festivals, sourdough bread, different spices and sauces. My favorite is they do a steamed jerked fish in foil, which is just amazing. And I'm, up to this point, I was a chicken and pork man. If I ever went to a jerk shack, it would be chicken or pork. I had the fish one day, and that's what I have every day when I go down there. And then we added our two signature restaurants, which is Butcher's Steakhouse. So it's an upmarket steakhouse. All of our beef is imported from the US as well. It really is an amazing experience to dine in. They do a prime rib, which is their signature dish, which comes out, it's literally the size of your plate. I dare anybody to have seconds once they've had one of them.
I think that restaurant is one that you need to make arrangements for early in your stay, correct? In order to get.
I mean, it's definitely, it's probably the most sought after restaurant in the entire Montego Bay. Everybody wants to dine at Bush's. So yeah, definitely make it early when you come down. And then we have Soy, which is my personal favorite. I know it's sushi, sashimi. If you don't eat fish, there's something on every course, so you don't have to eat fish. If you're vegetarian or vegan, there's something in there for you as well. But it really does have the best sashimi. I mean, if I choose any one restaurant, it would be Soy. Would be, I can't really say that, my staff will get upset, but Soy would be my go-to place to dine as well. And then our rooms have been redone. We've added new.
Whoa! I forgot one of my favorites.
Tell me.
Did you not mention Cafe de Paris?
Oh, well, I'm banned from Cafe de Paris because.
Oh, right. I forgot. My picture's in the back.
Yeah, absolutely right. When we first opened that restaurant, I must have put £20 on just product testing, just to make sure that everything was perfect for the
quality assurance, sir.
It's cake, ice cream, and coffee.
And you can put all three together in a
combination. Could you have?
You can, though. You can put it together in a blender. They'll do it for you. With coffee, ice cream.
They do. They call it a crumble. They do the whole thing for you. They as well. Yeah, I have to stay out there. Unfortunately, I would just be the size of a house if I carried on dining.
Hey, that location is worth the trip alone, regardless of anything else we're going to talk about. The Cafe de Paris is worth the trip.
Yeah. And it's the single most popular restaurant we have. And it's open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So whether you want coffee to wake up in the morning and a pastry, or you want something mid-morning or mid-afternoon or late night, it's the go-to place to have. I have to limit the times I go into. I went crazy when we first opened that restaurant, and it took a lot of hours in a gym to get it back down again. So, but you're right, I forgot that one. And then with the room stock, we've redone. We have 272 rooms at Sandals Montego Bay. We added 20 rooms over the last 2 or 3 years. We've added a lot of swim-up suites, new suites, which are really interesting along the way. So we started at the Almond Block, which is our far end, and we added our first set of swim-up suites. We actually have heated pools as well, which is, I know people kind of say, it took some convincing for the company to go heated. But it definitely makes a difference in the colder months. And it's just that few degrees that just make it so much more inviting when you step into the pool. And then we've added some more on our Poinciana.
Actually, can I first point out that before you move on from those rooms with the swim up suites, I noticed that today, this week, the 777 promo is a butler room right in that room block. It's not a swim up, but it would be on a higher floor, but it's right in that area of the swim up suite. So I've already posted that as the deal of the day on my page, and it is a really highly sought after location.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact of getting it on that 777 promo is amazing.
And what we find is that Montego Bay sells top down. So people are looking for suites. Swim ups have become super popular. We added swim up suites in four different places now. And they are probably the first to go. They're the most sought after. People want that step out of your room and into your pool experience. Has become very, very popular as well. And then we brought in different designers to do different rooms. So we wanted to have a theme that ran through the hotel, but we wanted to have different experiences that when people went into the room, there were different experiences. And my personal favorite are Millionaire Suites. We had a Jamaican girl, Christina, who works out of Miami, that actually did the design for them. And I think they are just amazing as well. And then 2 years ago, we added our new swim up Millionaire Suites as well, which are another really sought after. It's down the far end of the property, and we're not a big property. When I say a far end, it's not a big hike. It's probably a 10-minute walk between one end of the property and the other. But it really is a nice, quiet, exclusive, secluded area that people enjoy as well. So we've been busy at the flagship, and it's a constant process. What we found is that once you start, it's like that rock rolling down a hill. It never stops. So we're constantly looking at what we do next, how we improve things. We've just redone all of our entertainment in the hotel. Closing down gave us an opportunity to take our internal talent. And what we do is every year we have this talent show, encore we used to call it, where we take dancers, singers, people that play instruments, and they go for a competition that runs throughout the Caribbean. And then the very best ones we've taken and formed our own group. So they come in and do the entertainment in their hotels, and we have different nights. So Monday nights are beach party night. So we have a kind of a circus act, trapeze, fire eaters. And then every night we try and do something different so that the guests have a different experience every single night as well. And one of the nice things in Sandals Montego Bay is where we opened up the lobby, and we call it now the living room, where the main bar is. So people can sit and have a drink and watch the entertainment and enjoy it as well. And that's been a really nice key feature since reopening as well, that people are enjoying.
That view and approach when you arrive at the lobby of Sandals Montego Bay and you just enter that lobby and you can see all the way out to the ocean is just phenomenal. I mean, that is the wow factor right there, right from the doorstep. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to create. When we sat down and looked at doing the renovations, we actually sat down with some of our multiple returning guests and sort of pitched ideas of what we were looking for. And they gave us feedback on what they thought was great, what they thought maybe didn't work, or what they would like to see. And we incorporated that into our plans as well, so that hopefully we have something for everybody that come in. And what we wanted was, I think it's really important, is that when you first come into a hotel, there has to be a wow factor. That first impression is so important. And so we want people to come into our lobby and see the huge expanse of beach and ocean and go, oh, wow, I'm finally here. This is what it's all about.
I think it's a balance. Sometimes you walk into, hotels and it's very grand and it's very opulent, right? But I think what the great thing about Sandals Montego Bay and the renovations that we've done there over as you said, the past 5 years, and in particular that wow factor at the lobby, is that it's beautiful and stunning, but at the same time very welcoming. It's a really good balance of the two. So I think that really makes it very special, in particular about Sandals Montego Bay. And what you had just mentioned too about your resort is, talking to all those past guests. And what is really special is Sandals Montego Bay is our flagship. And of course, you have had clients going to that resort since we opened in 1981. But you also have clients who are, honeymooners who are, in, their mid to late 20s that are going to Sandals Montego Bay. So you really get a wide array of ages going to your resort in particular. And I always love going there because you'll see that couple with their Hawaiian shirt on and their walker going through the lobby side by side with someone who it's their very first time at Sandals. So you get a really big demographic. And I think that's very special about your property as well.
I think that it's what makes for an interesting hotel experience is when you have a wide, diverse group of people.
Yeah.
If it's all one demographic, it can be a little bit stale. But because we have a whole array from young honeymooners who've just got married a few days ago, and to people that have been coming to us since 1981. And often the older guests will advise the younger guests. I mean, I've heard guests ask me, I've been at the bar and I've had a guest ask me, a young couple, and he asked me, how much is it for the champagne? And I said, why would you ask? And he said, well, we just got married, we're on a budget, and I want to buy my wife champagne. Now, for all who know, the champagne is included in in your inclusive package. So I did say to him, I said to the bartender, I said, listen, this is my friend here. Anytime you want champagne, it's on me.
Exactly.
And some people just don't know, and our older guests will advise our younger guests what they can and can't do. And most of it is they can do and enjoy themselves and have a good time. And I think people also struggle with what's included in the Sandals vacation, because there's so much included in that vacation experience that they're just not, they just find it difficult to accept sometimes. I really can go sailing, I can go scuba diving, I can go in all the restaurants, I can drink at all the bars. And some people don't know, they think it's limited to something, and it's not. We want people to come and enjoy themselves and relax. So I think meet new people and have an enjoyable vacation experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that all really makes us want to. If us sitting in our places in Canada and US, we all want to be at Sandals Montego Bay, where you are right now, for sure. Just hearing you talk about all of these experiences and the restaurants and the activities and things that are all included, it's amazing. And I know it's a very high requested resort, and I know you have a lot of returning guests. So I'm sure there's some people watching this video today that have been there before, and definitely would be high on the priority list to choose it as a subsequent option for another vacation. And I know you do a lot of weddings there. We've sent a lot of weddings your way, and definitely a lot of honeymooners. So it's a great experience for all of that, as well as the anniversary clients that are looking for something special.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great wedding team. We have 2 wedding chapels. I think we're the only Sandals that have actually 2 wedding chapels. One of them being over the water, which is singly the most important or most used, I would say, facility. People want to get married on the beach, typically when they come to the Caribbean. But we do have an original chapel that came with a hotel when we first. I think we built it back in the early 80s. We still do a mass on a Sunday, which is very well attended for the guests as well. But there's one thing probably our number one asset and our most important feature in Sandals Montego Bay is, and I think this is built up over years of service, is our staff. I know I'm biased now. I've been with the flagship for some time now, but I think we have the best staff that are service orientated.
Looking too, sir. Like, I have to say, like, including yourself. No, but seriously, every time I go to Sandals Montego Bay, I'm like, everybody is absolutely lovely. Most importantly, you're right, and that's why people come back over and over. But my goodness, there's something in the water at Sandals Montego Bay.
I think we like to have fun. And we like to have fun with each other, and we like to have fun with the guests, and we want our guests to have fun. I think we also have a caring culture where we take care of people. That's our role. So if we see anybody that's not smiling, or if somebody says, if I say good morning, how's your day, and they go fine, I know something's wrong. I know I need to step in and everything else, because we want people to have a great time. We want people to be blown away by the experience. And I think the staff are so geared and engineered towards that's what makes this place a little bit different than everywhere else. I mean, you can have nice hotels anywhere, but I think it's the service culture, it's the caring culture in the hotel that we take care of people, and that's really what our role is. And we want people to have time of their lives, because that's really what you save up for. That's what you invest in a vacation, is an experience that is good value for money, but one that leaves you with memories for a lifetime. And that's the business we're in, to create that.
Absolutely.
I know that the last little while has been a bit of a struggle in the travel industry all around for, with resorts closing, but obviously yours was one of the first that reopened. So I know that you're doing all of things that are prudent as far as care and concern and things like that. So you can speak to that a little bit so that our listeners are aware that Sandals is fully aware and fully engaged in making everything as safe as possible for their trip.
Yeah, well, we closed at the end of March, and the first thing we did after we closed the resorts was to sit down and work out what we were going to do when we reopened and how we were going to treat this. And it was very fluid at the time because things were changing. We sat down and we came up with the Platinum Protocols, which they were eventually called. But where we are now is like 10, 12 different revisions of the different protocols, because things were so fluid. Like, what you came up with today wasn't irrelevant tomorrow. And what was nice about Mo Bay is that while we closed, we were still busy. So we were the guinea pigs. So we tested everything out. We tested out how the protocols work, how they were applied, did they work, was it convenient, was it safe? Because I think along with sun, sea, and sand, people want safety. They want to come down and know that they're safe.
Sure.
As well. They're going to have a good time. And I'm happy to say that after 3 months of being back in business and having pretty good occupancies, we haven't had a single case of a transmission from a guest or a staff at all. So it's the protocols are working. And what we want, the protocols were designed to keep people safe. We wanted people to still come down and have that holiday experience. So there were, we don't want it to be too draconian, and we don't want to lock people in their rooms and cover them with a hazmat suit and then go out to the beach. We want people to sit there and relax and sip their cocktails on the beach and everything else. We were fortunate that Sandals is a couples only company. So our setup was pretty much socially distanced anyway, because we want to create that intimate feel for couples as well. So did we space out the furniture a little bit more? Yes. Did we have to do too much to change the resort to accommodate this? No. So typically when a guest comes in, they will have their temperature taken. They'll be asked to sanitize their hands. And then we walk them through, we take them to their room, which is being cleaned, sanitized. Once a guest leaves a room, everything is stripped out. We have these special foggers and sprayers that sanitize the entire room, including the AC, and then everything that goes back in the room is completely fresh. And then we seal that room ready for the guests to come in. So they're the first person that, once that room is sanitized and cleaned and set up, they're the first person who's going into that room. Because we want them to feel a sense of comfort that we've taken that into account, that their safety and comfort is important to us. And then we've spaced out some of the restaurants because we want to keep it socially distant as well. We've changed some of our entertainment that we used to have that required crowds. So we now, pool parties now in the sea. So we still want people to have a good time and enjoy themselves, but we just have to be aware of following the protocols as well. So we didn't want to dumb down any of the experiences. We still want people to come and have a good time and party and feel like they're on vacation. We just had to adapt it for where we are now. So we opened on June the 16th was our first day. We've been getting some great reviews from the guests. And one of the things we've seen is that the guests, I'm getting more extended stays. I've had more people tell me that they don't want to go home, they want to stay. So they've extended their stay while on there. And I'm finding that more people are coming back sooner than they're not booking for next year. They want to come back later this year as well. So I think people are coming and having a good time. They're realizing that it is a safe environment. It is somewhere where you can enjoy yourself and relax and have that holiday vacation experience. And I think in the world we're living in today, it's even more important that people want some escapism and some normality. They want to be able to go to somewhere and relax. And I think Sandals Montego Bay and all Sandals resorts offer that for people as well. The protocols have worked really well. A lot of them we did behind the scenes, so they were there to protect the staff and make sure that the staff kept safe, because they were an important part of the equation. And by extension, the guests. And what we did when we closed was we trained. We have 700 team members at the flagship. We trained all of them in the new protocols and how to apply them as well. And then everybody had to pass a test before they came back, including myself. I had to pass a test before we came back into the workspace to take care of the guests. So the time the guests came in, we were fully trained and practiced, ready for the guests to come back. And I think there was a general excitement in the hotel for guests coming back. And I think that's still there today, actually. I think there's a general excitement of being back at work and seeing guests in there. And I think there's a general excitement from the guests being able to escape from where they are and having a normal vacation experience as well. So it's been a really nice time, I've got to say.
We have been hearing lots of great feedback, positive feedback from people who've gone. Not everybody's ready to travel yet, which is fine. We understand that, but for the people who are, the option is there, and it's a very enjoyable one that people are experiencing.
Yeah.
Even something as, everybody's heard about it, but it's interesting to see some of the reviews on some of the websites, of course, TripAdvisor and all of those too. But there's been a lot of really, really positive feedback. And I think in particular for people that have been, not just Sandals Montego Bay, but any of the sandals for the first time, they really realize how over the top we are in a lot of ways with the amount of inclusions, with all the water sports. But even when it comes to the protocols of cleanliness, not to mean that it's going to limit you in any way but we have really looked at every single tiny interaction that you're having with different people to make sure it's as safe as humanly possible. And after, I think, a few hours of being at a Sandals or beaches and experiencing what we've done, specifically in this new world that we live in, it at the end of the day, it really makes the guests and the staff feel a lot more at ease.
Yeah, totally agree with everything you said.
Yeah, I think it's having a sense of security and comfort that it's been taken care of, but not having to work for it while you're a guest in the hotel. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think people have come in and been quite impressed with what we've done and how we handle things, and not having to worry, which is the most important thing. You want to relax in time. You don't want to worry. We do all the stress, we do all the work, and you just come and relax. And that's really what I think it's all about.
And that sense of having everything taken care of, like that is applicable to what we hear from our Sandals clients, not just in this time, but all the time. Whether it's just safety and security, cleanliness, just the quality of the experience is no different before now as it is during this time. And people like having that reliability that they can go back to and feel that, things are what they would expect them to be.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much in our DNA, and that's why it's made this time so much easier for us to deal with and get back in business quicker than most, because our DNA is to take care of people and make sure they have a good time. And as a company, like resort cleanliness and everything else has always been paramount in operating our resorts. And guest enjoyment and guest satisfaction has always been at the top of our priorities as well. So I think looking at what we had to adapt, it wasn't very much in dealing with any of this as well, because this is kind of what we do day in, day out, year in, year out as well. So it was a fairly simple transition for us to make.
And all of that is why Sandals Resorts is at the top of our recommended list when we get a couple coming to us looking for that special experience for weddings, honeymoons, anniversaries, or just a couple's trip. Knowing that even before this situation, Sandals being a top option to recommend, and certainly now what we know and what we've gone through in the last 6 months, that certainly has been enhanced quite a bit. And we thank you for that on the ground in Montego Bay. Doing what you do every day, it gives us and our clients a level of confidence that we don't get everywhere. So we really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's our pleasure. It's what we do.
Absolutely.
Well, I know myself and Meredith are certainly looking forward to our next opportunity to visit you guys at Sandals Montego Bay. And,
I need to try out this mashed potato pizza.
Oh, you'll love it. I guarantee you. I've never had anybody tell me anything different, but that was amazing.
Well, it's like carb mania. I mean, what could be bad about it? If I do well at Cafe de Paris, I'm going to be fine with the mashed potato pizza. Anybody who knows me knows that.
For that and many other reasons, we're ready. We're ready to come. We're just waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, man, and we're ready to welcome you and make sure you have a fantastic time when you do come.
Thank you both for joining us on Thursday's Travel Talk today. We really appreciate the partnership and look forward to the next visit and time when we can visit in person again.
Right back at you, Lois. We'll see you on the beach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.